And hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. This is PH Gang. My name is Peter and welcome. And firstly, sad news. I have a cold. I'm starting to get ill. Well, I'm actually feeling a bit ill. But there is good news. I have beer. And I've got to say, it is the weirdest colour beer I think I've ever had. So starting off with that, it is the London Beer Factory Berliner Heist Raspberry and Blackberry Berliner Weissbier. So today's stream is on Kerbal Space Program, as it has been since it started so far. Today, as promised last week, we are going to be trying to do a fighter bomber, and we will obviously give that a good go. So without further ado, let's have a go. So just gonna switch over to our game now, and here we go. So let's go to a space plane hangar and make a start on our plane. So I'm going to build a bit of a well, I say a little bit of a different plane. I'm going to keep it slim because we don't necessarily need it to be too fast or too bulky, as it only needs to actually carry one person. And then I'm actually going to use the Panther engine. It's great vectoring, and we're just going to toggle mode wet, so it'll be wet mode straight away. So symmetry now, aerodynamics, which it has none yet, and centre of mass. So let's go aerodynamics, and I'm going to go for delta wing to start with. Obviously put it on hexagonal, so keep it quite far back. Just going to be building here a very, actually, so let's just pull this back because I actually need some air intakes. So the best air intakes are likely to be that one, but this one's nice and straight like the rest of the plane, so we'll do that. Yep. And then I'm going to use canards. So we need to move our weight back. So the easiest way to do that is that. So just put that on there. Put that on there. There we go. What we can actually do as well is reduce the fuel, so it brings the weight backwards, and then there is sound. I've got my volume turned down so low I can't really tell. So today, as I mentioned, I am Mr. Blowy, Nosy, Sneezy, and all of that. Sound like one of the 7 dwarfs here. Ew. Oh, I'm not sure I like that. Ugh. And then we need some landing gear. I'm just going to go for medium. It's obviously too big. Is it medium? Yeah. Yeah, that's going to take up all the wing. So let's go there. But then that's going to leave us no So, just trying to... Hello again, Peter. Becoming quite the regular here. Welcome. Thank you for joining me anyway. Okay, so let's get that there. And we're going to neaten this up a bit by pushing this up. Not quite that much. Yeah, to about there. So we have a slight upwards angle of attack on takeoff. So that's our basic plane. Let's just see if that flies nicely. I'm sure it will. It's a very common, very standard design. Don't need any of these today, so we'll do away with those and clean up our engine bay. Let's see. So it seems to fly alright. So just going to fly this towards the VAB. So we're going to use the VAB as our targeting building for any bombing runs that we do. And put it up. There we go. Just going to gain a bit of altitude and then come into land. Dragging off a load of speed here. As you can see, it floats quite nicely. Again, very common, very standard design, nothing special here. And then let's hit the brakes. There we go. Okay, so let's build our bombs. Just watching our aerodynamic mass compared to our mass, make sure our centre of lift is back far enough. So, how big can we go? So in terms of size, I don't think we get any bigger than that. Move the fuel forward just to give us a little bit of forward momentum. So now we need to try and get some dynamics. We're going to go with the smallest basic thing we can. Like that. And then I do leave that black and white so it looks like a target. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was actually quite good for me. Normally a little bit bumpier than that. Normally what I try to do when I land is I sort of get it going very slowly just above the runway, so it almost stalls to a landing, and that's where you check your staging. So I'm not expecting this to be quite as manoeuvrable now. Yeah. Stability assist. And check my staging. You know what? There we go. Let's launch that again. Lift off, there we go. So we're going to take this a lot more steadier now. So these are dumb bombs. They're not smart in any way. Literally drop and that's it. As you can see, it's still quite unstable because of the weight. Just getting the speed up here. And then 3, 2, 1. Oh, what happened? Did we hit short? I think we did. I think those bombs might be a little bit too heavy for this plane, so I'm gonna go back and change them. Right, okay, so bear with me. Right, okay. So let's go and change these. Fuel tanks, they were a little bit on the big side, so I don't really want to do that, so yeah, mark zeros. 2 very small little bombs. Yes, I have a missed call. My dad, he always knows when not to call and make sure he does it at that time. So last live stream, yep, dad calls. I'm at work, yep, dad calls. Yep. So longer, sleeker, less draggy. There we go. Use same sort of fins again, I think. Much lighter. Should cause less issues. So there we go. Let's try that. That is not great. Right, here we go. Much more quicker on acceleration. Much more to scale. And much easier to take off. You get more speed up, more lift over those dumb bombs. Even looks like a fighter from underneath almost. Here we go. I think they hit. Didn't do a lot, but they hit. Pop hard. Let's stall over the runway and use the speed itself. There we go. Oh, a bit bumpy there. Hit brakes now. Cool. So that's a basic bomber. Let's ramp it up a little bit. So go a bit bigger this time. Where's the one we want? There. Or do we? Yeah, that'll do for now. Fuel tanks, liquid fuel. Short liquid fuel, I think, and then one of those, and then could we could go 4 engines. We'll leave that for now. So that's basic plane again. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to shorten this a little bit. Going to do that. Engines, 2 Panthers, and then we want big ass Delta wings. And there's a reason for this. I'm going to make this with lots of lift so it can carry lots of payload. Oh, wrong way round. There we go. So now we need two of these on here. Like so, and do we do 2 of those there to give it a bit more command and control, and then get some wheels on this thing. So I've gone purposely for larger wheels, just to give us a bit more space under the yeah. So I do question. I think what I'm going to try and do, see what happens. Oh no. That. Another fuel tank, just have a short one in there. So. Notification. Oh, it's just someone else's streaming that I follow. So, fuel tanks, like so, and then we want them to be pointy for aerodynamic reasons. And then pretty much touched there, but that's fine. And then just put a couple of those on the back, because they don't need to be as pointy. So, basics there. Now, see if so. I remember a lot of the old fighters, they used to have like the side, almost like a sidewinder missile. And I'm thinking this might do something like that. So something like that. And then fuel tank, just a short fuel tank on there, like so. So that's our bomb, that's our motor. Aerodynamics now, like that. Yes, it's very short, very stumpy one. But that's fine. Sorry about the dog, we've got a rather noisy little dog next door. So I'm actually going to try that. Let's see if this works. Ah, sorry, bear with me. Right, here we go. Oh, I didn't put them on fuel breathing. There we go. See if we can take off. Oh yeah, here we go. So first thing we're going to try is the rockets. Kind of giving me that feeling of like a somewhere between a Vulcan and a Eurofighter. Right, okay, let's get our turn done now. Whoop. So it's a little bit forward heavy still. That's fine. I need to come down now towards the surface. So it kind of worked well, I thought. Didn't have enough power to destroy it all in one, but that was quite cool. Now, I wonder if we can do the old dive bombing. Yeah, I think that worked as well. 25 minutes in. Oh, right, that's stream over. I think I've kind of achieved what I wanted to with this one. Anything else that you guys would like to see trying with this sort of thing? Let me know. Pull up now. hit the brakes. And drift it to an end. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think I've done this one. Sounds like a good plan, Peter. So, Space Center. So I think what I'm going to do first is like a hopper, like SpaceX uses. Just got to learn to walk before I can run. So, start with one of these. I want plenty of command and control, I reckon. And then electricity, I'm going to need a lot of that. So, there we go. And then engines, we want coupling 2.5, so we want at least 2 engines because then that gives us the thrust vector for twisting. So, I don't want nothing too heavy for right now. I'm wondering if this will be enough. Yeah. For what we want right now, that will do. And then aerodynamics. So, is it 8? Like that. Pitch your, yeah, active. And then let's just put a nose cone on this just to neaten it up a bit. That's going to be our test vehicle. So let's give this a go. Apparently we don't have enough Delta V. TWR even. So that's not helpful. Just let us burn. Oh, it stops burning. Right. Back to the drawing board we're at. So let's get rid of those. Actually, I know what we could do. Triple. That should give us a bit more. So that's got us up off the ground. Just going to get us up to about 1,000. There we go. Sticky keys. Not fast enough. Oh, somehow we managed to survive that. Right, I need legs. No, I do not want to use sticky keys. Ground. What's the biggest ones? Yeah, let's go with these ones. There we go. Right, let's try launching that. I'm just going to try something. Let's do. So what they can do is they can act as air brakes and they can help steer. Just goes up to about 1,000 again. Nice and slowly. See, air brakes are working hard to keep us. Oh. And there we go. Bye bye. Right. So, let's go bigger. Just jump straight in. New. Need something to connect it all to, so we'll go with one of these. And then there we go. We're going to payload to that 2.5 meter. There we go. So we know our weight now. So now we can work out how much thrust we need. Quad here, I think, at least. See if that helps. No. 4x1. Put one in the middle. That's still only just going to be enough. I've got a 4. So these can go because I'm going to use these. They're lighter and they produce a little bit more thrust. Yeah, that's only a 4. Now I'm going to take a bit of a Russian stance when it comes to gimbling. So a lot of their, like these type of engines for VR7s and Soyuz and stuff like that, they'll have this type of engine, but they'll now have one of these attached as well for gimbaling, because these do not gimbal. Like at all. So we then need 8 of those, like so, and again active, active. There we go. Let's launch this. Welcome from Russia. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, good timing there with your joining and the fact that I'm now about to see this fall over because it's too heavy. Boom. Hey. And we have our Kerbal Space Program explosions. I think we need some of these. Here we go. Let's give this a go. Let me try and translate that. Translate. So I don't actually know Russian. No, I don't understand Russian, unfortunately. I only speak English and very, very small amounts of other languages. Like French, a little bit of Korean. Picked up a couple of words in Japan and Spanish as well. My dad lives in Spain, and that's about it, unfortunately. So I'm really going a bit bigger this time. Creating a little bit of drag just to try and keep us straight. So I think 10,000 will be enough for this test. So once this starts to descend, I'm going to hit the brake button. I didn't put any legs on it. Well, I'll kind of call that a success. So I do have a couple of mods. Let me see if I can find my CCAN list. So, I'll just go quickly to that. So currently I have Astrogator. Now what that will do, it will give you a maneuver to different places, so like the Mun, Minmus, Eve, Moho, Duna, any of the planets. It will give you a better burn time, which helps to give you a landing burns and tell you exactly when you need to start your burns and what have you. I have Skybox Nebula. Once you get into space you'll see that. Okay. Distant object enhancement with default config. Docking port sound effect, so it makes that sort of clunk noise and like the noise of something docking when you dock. Smoke screen, that is the gives you different smoke effects for the engines. Texture replacer, and that's it. I thought I had more than that, but apparently not. Oh, and MechJeb. MechJeb is great if you need like autopilot to help you, because if you're anything like me, I'm absolutely rubbish at docking and creating rendezvous and what have you. So it's really great at stuff like that. So let's give us some legs. As low as we can. Cool. Let's see how stable that is. I'll be glad when that one's done. Someone shouting outside. Right, okay. Get us a little bit higher this time. We're aiming for like 20,000 now. Again, just doing increments up towards space. So just letting this increase its height, its apoapsis. So getting this up to 20,000, maybe even 30, maybe go. Let's go big. Sorry, bear with. Cool. Just run this up now to 29,800. Let's get the brakes action group out. I do apologise. I wish I did know some more Russian. Yes, it might well do. I don't tend to use it apart from the need for numbers. I do have Kerbal Engineer Redux installed as well, which wasn't on that list, I don't believe. I'm just bringing my speed down a bit now. I need to have a look at that. That might actually really help. Oh, got bouncy rocket. It's dancing in celebration of landing. Yeah, keep bouncing. It's like it's got pneumatic suspension, like a lowrider. Right. Going bigger now. Let's have a quick look at that actually. Landing. Where was it? Okay, surface maybe. How about this one? Ooh. Install that. Store that. Yeah, again, I'm not really sure with Engineer Redux. Let's try vessel. Thermal, don't need thermal. Body. Let's have a look at that. So, ooh, I've got a target on the ground. Cool. So that might be handy. We'll go with that one. Oh. Yeah, that didn't work. Yeah, maybe in the future, I wouldn't mind learning Russian. At the minute, I'm trying to learn a bit more Korean. I do Korean martial arts, and I can count in Korean, and obviously say some commands for martial arts purposes. Why have I gone this? Yeah, let's go back. So the skybox, as you can see in the background, very light. This is the skybox mod, and it creates this look. I personally quite like it. Right, okay. Right, where were we? So let's go a bit bigger. Let's try and get into space now. Cancel that. Again, just using this very much same format. More command and control. And then payload. One of them. There we go. And then we are going bigger. 3.75 meter engines now. Aerodynamics, we're going to go with more of these again. There we go. We're going to want some fuel tanks. We're going to want no. That one? No. It's got to be this one then. That's the one. RCS thrusters. Yeah, maybe. What I might do actually is use 9 engines on this, which is something I've done before. Don't need 8 of those, really. Come on. Actually, we don't even need those. We'll go with those for now. That'll do. Just going to reduce that to 4 as well. There we go. Again, welcome. Thanks for chatting in the chat boxes. So we want 8. 8 plus 1. Where are we? But they don't produce enough thrust. Uh-oh. Yeah, I need more thrust than that. Build a satellite? Ah, you should have checked out last week's stream. I did geostationary satellites in that one. I think it was last week's or week before's. Yeah, check out one of my past videos for satellites. That's all in there. So YouTubers I take inspiration from. So Scott Manley, incredibly intelligent guy. Believe he works for Apple on iOS, developing that, but very clever when it comes to space. Very good at science and maths, so very good at explaining different theories. Go check out his page there for very much more advanced stuff than this. Yeah, I'm gonna actually yeah, so them, it was him. Everyday Astronaut. Tim, can't remember his last name now. Tim Dodd, that's it. great guy, really enthusiastic guy, very good at what he does. Again, slightly different take on everything to what I currently do and what others do. Right, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I've had a thought. So that one I don't actually need to be there. There, we can give ourselves a little bit more thrust. Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut. Matt Lown, great at doing space planes. He's got actually pretty much a movie made out of Kerbal Space Program. I can't remember if it's called Duna Attacks or something like that. Again, great series of videos. I think he did it as one long movie, but then also split it up into smaller ones. Very much worth a watch. That's my sort of Kerbal Space Program people. But they all have their own thing. So Tim Dodd, he's gone to Boeing and SpaceX repeatedly. He's been and done interviews with Peter Beck, who owns does the Electron rockets. Can't remember the name of the company now. That might be their name. He has been and actually worn the flight suits for the new CST-100 Starliner. He's done tours around SpaceX's factory. Does great little videos as well, talking about different things. Who else? Linus Tech Tips. I follow Linus Tech Tips. Love the way they produce their videos. Very clean, very well done. But also great sense of humour. And very knowledgeable when it comes to obviously technology. Again, on that front, Jay's 2 cents. Yeah, so lots of different people. I'm just trying to remember them all. If I'm honest, I do struggle to remember them all. We're going to need plenty of landing legs on this one, I think. Yeah. I want to move those down a bit. Oh, I don't want the whole thing. Right, let's try that. So yeah, quite a few different people. If you like racing and racing simulations, Jimmy Broadbent, great sim racer, really quite comical guy. Yeah. I haven't, no, not yet. I really want to see that actually. One, because of their take on Neil Armstrong. The guy kind of interests me as a person. Yeah, I need to take some fuel out. Because he's actually a really good, apart from being an astronaut, he's actually a really good engineer. Yeah. So, and I kind of have an engineering background. I've worked with cars, car systems and all of that sort of stuff. Kind of in a almost custom capacity. Very specialised role that I did. But I always have that background. Yeah. So, really want to see that actually. I'm terrible at keeping up with movies, if I'm honest. Really not very great at remembering to watch them. So, yeah, there is that. So, tried to go with 9 engines again. Gotta say, I need to try and work these out a bit more because, really, they don't look that great. So, and they're not that powerful. But it looks okay, but I need more power. And that's my problem. So finally finished the Berliner Weiss. And I'm now going to try my next beer. Which is Piston Head Haze Lager. Dry hopped with Galaxy hops. So just letting this take off. So in October I went to Tokyo. My friend that I live with. He is actually working in Tokyo right now, and I went to visit him and stayed with him in his apartment. And the flight is probably the first time that I've watched as many movies that I have. Probably watched on the flights alone probably as many movies as I did the 6 months beforehand. I'm more of a series watcher, so I'll watch TV series on Netflix and Amazon and what have you. Maybe some TV. Right, so I'm gonna stop it there. We have reached space, or we will reach space. And I need to save some fuel for landing. So that's a bit better. Yeah, so not very great at watching movies. Very rare that I do just decide to sit and watch a movie. Although, having said that, I did watch Apollo 13 again recently. Again, if you're into vintage space, actually, that's another person I really did get into watching. Vintage Space is a great channel for anything sort of Apollo era related, and that sort of era of space exploration. So 50s, 60s, 70s, a little bit of 80s, but mainly around early sort of pioneers. Amy, I think it's Amy Shearer title, is great at that sort of thing. Really goes well in depth. Has become quite well known about it as well. Quite famous now. So yeah, another one that's worth checking out. Let's get the old brakes out now. So, yeah. So just letting this come down now. Now re-entering. See what's happening here. So once we start getting some atmospheric heat up on re-entry, I'm gonna do a burn. I would like to go nearer Falcon 9 design. You can actually download a mod. There's 2 different mods. You can get Kerbalized SpaceX, I think, is one. There's another SpaceX one as well. Actually didn't get any. Right, burn now in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to burn a little bit early here now. And also reusability mod. is another one that gives you the landing legs and the grid fins, which I could have kind of done with here. I'm using these in place of grid fins. So that really kind of didn't work well. I think it worked on the same premise as right, so 10, 9, 6. It don't work it out very well, does it? But I'm fine with that. I don't mind slowing myself down a bit. Whoa. Ah. So we have 12th April will be a holiday, Cosmonautics Day. A long time ago, 12th of April 1961 in the Soviet Union into space. So was it actually 12th of April that Yuri Gagarin first orbited Earth? Is that the day that it was? Or the day that he launched? I'm not entirely sure of the dates on these sort of things. Right, okay. I need somehow to create more power. Let's see what other engines we've got. Could we go with a 2-engine design? So I'm going to ditch the Falcon 9 with the 9 engines at the bottom, unfortunately. I think it's not really working. No, 2 vectors. Yes, I know that's sort of going easy, but they are lighter than 9 of the LTV 45s, I believe it was. Tell you what, these engines are a nightmare to mount sometimes. Yeah, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just go. We'll put them there, shall we? Ridiculous. There we go. So much harder than it needs to be. There. So yeah, again, if you're interested in that, try Vintage Space. Great source of information for that sort of thing. Does talks about, I believe there was one mission that was the only time that people actually died in space, and that was a Soviet or Russian Soviet Union mission. I can't remember what the circumstances around it, but it was 2 or 3 guys that died. And she has a full episode on that. So, let's see if we can get ourselves up to space again. Great thing is with this now, it's much more expandable. so I can add in fuel tanks in between. I can add engines now. I've got a bit more room to do that. So I'm thinking I might end up doubling the size of the fuel tanks and doubling the amount of engines as well, which should help. So just going up again one more time just to test with these engines, and then I'm going to go big, even bigger. So you are running about 10 seconds behind me. Obviously it's going from me all the way to YouTube. So we've gone a bit higher this time. Got more fuel left. Just going to accelerate out of the atmosphere now. Right, here we go. Brakes on. So it's telling me I need to start my suicide burn at like 20,000 feet. 30,000 feet even. Here we go. Ah. Right. Let's go again with a bigger engine. Oh, I've had a fall. Right. Oh no. There we go. Yeah, well, what I was trying to do was I didn't want to slow down too quickly, because you can then, as you slow down too quickly, you can actually do that. Whereas if you get it just right, you land straight. Bouncy legs, gone. Right. There we go. Right, okay, so just going to use this to get us here. So I want 100 bet, engage in that. So I'm just using mech jeb to get me up and over, and I want to skip circularization. It's that one. So just letting it do its thing. Just get rid of these. So I'm going to make sure that I land somewhere. That's ground. So we're now in space. Just going to hit the brakes. Just going to slow us down so that our target area is on this bit of land here. I've never even played it. A lot of children play it around here. Yeah. So just gonna let this do its thing now. Yeah, I've never played Roblox. I don't even know what it's about, if I'm honest. Just checking my landing point. It's going to be about here somewhere. Oh, too much. And that's what happens when you do it too early. Okay. So my what was retrograde might have been here, it flipped to here, and then my rocket, because it was trying to keep retrograde, flipped. So, but we're getting there. Some of us survived. So, now, plenty of delta V. Just going to remove this. And then engines. So, now I'm going to try and create a second stage. Say, breeze on it. Actually, don't need that. Need electrical now. Alright. And then go with two of those. And two of those. And then communication. One of those. Oh, no, not two of them. There we go. Build phone. There we go. And to those. And then we want to payload fairing. And then we want this one. So, let's see what this can do. It's getting very windy here today. I think it's going to rain as well. Just going to go to our 100 kilometer again. I'm just going to let MechJeb, which is a mod, do the flying for me. While I do that, I should be back in a second. Warmth. It's getting cold in here. Okay. So as you can see, this is now getting us into that orbit. I'm just going to hit that. So I'm just going to disengage the autopilot now. There we go. Just letting us push this prograde, and then we will. So we'll use this again in a minute, and then we're going to go shut that off. There we go. There we go. And then we're going to. There we go. So now what we should be able to do is extend solar panel. Extend solar panel, extend solar panel, and extend solar panel. And then we're going to go maneuver planet, circularize, create and execute. Oh. So if this goes into orbit and then the rocket booster survives, we have done our job. There we go. So that is in orbit. Switching to this now. Should point this retrograde and use our RCS to do that. Hit our brakes ready for when we re-enter. I'm going to do a small boost back burn just to bring our orbit, our landing point back to this point. Go. So I'm happy with that. Now we can so apparently we need our suicide burn in about a minute's time. So SpaceX actually uses this burn. The thrust from the engines kind of creates a thermal heat shield. Oh, I've not got a lot of Delta V left. So doing this actually performs a trick, it stabilises as well. Close enough. So, right, I have a thought. So I'm going to try this one more time, and then I think that will be it for today's stream. Yes, I know it's quite a short stream. Unfortunately, I'm not feeling that great today. Where are we? Oh. Right, here we go. So we're going to launch again, same way as before. 3, 2, 1. So just letting this launch now. Just letting it do it itself, much as it would be in real life. So just ascending here. So just letting it do that. So what other games do you guys like to play anyway? Let me know. Obviously I don't play Roblox. You may well have already seen other games that I play. Obviously also got my Need for Speed and Grid Auto Sport careers going. Yeah, so I will be doing, I might start that tonight, Adrift. Absolutely beautiful game, and it's based in space again, so you know, what's not to like. Right, so this time I'm not going to worry about getting the other second part into orbit. We already know we can. Cool. So I'm just going to disengage this. So we're now going to burn retrograde to bring our landing point back to this peninsula here. And get rid of that now. So let's time accelerate now. Go. So just letting this come down. So I'm going to call that close enough for now. I don't think we've got strong enough landing legs. Might come back to that subject later on once I've got a few different things in place in game. I might get some reusability mods that help with guidance on landing. But I think that's going to do it for today's stream. Again, thank you very much for joining me. Really appreciate the fact that you've been in there, you've been chatting, we've had some conversation. If you like this, please do that. If you didn't, please do that. Obviously, comments as normal, and please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.